Welcome back, my friends. This is Behram with Change the Voice. From active to passive and passive to active. And my dear friends, in this module, you and I are going to study how to change from the active voice to the passive voice. Let's read this question. He eats a cake. Start the sentence with the cake. Okay. Now, my dear friends, we have to rewrite the sentence starting with the cake. So, let's have a look at the options. Oh, 3 options. The cake was eaten by him. The cake is being eaten by him. The cake is eaten by him. My God, which is the correct answer? Right? Let's have a look, my dear friends. The third answer is the only correct answer. The cake is eaten by him. Why? Because, my dear friends, whenever you are changing from the active voice to the passive voice, remember, look at the tense of the question, simple present tense, and look in my answer, is the simple present tense, which means when you're changing the voice, you cannot change the tense. The tense has to remain constant. So how can we be sure of that? I'm going to give you simple steps, my dear friends. Let's have a look at the sentence again. He eats the cake. Identify the subject, identify the object. Step 1 is going to be swap the subject and the object. Exactly. So that's what we are doing. The cake becomes subject and he goes into object and becomes him. Absolutely. He is a pronoun. That is why it changes to him. See? Subject I, object me. Subject you, object you. Subject he, that means before the verb. Object him. Subject she, object her. Subject we, object us. Subject they, object them. Let's move on with this. And now, identify the tense. This is the simple present tense, my dear friends. And you have to put the verb to be in the same tense. Add to be in the same tense as in the active voice. And so, the present tense of to be is am or is or are, and we choose is because the subject is the cake. Now, step 3. Use the past participle of the given verb, en, ed, net ending. Fantastic. Add the past participle. So here we have eaten. And step 4, my dear friends, we all know add by. And so you add the preposition, which is mostly by, and we get the answer. The cake is eaten by him. Amazing, my dear friends. So remember these 4 simple steps. And I am highlighting the first 2 because I'm going to shorten them for you, my dear friends. Moving on. Let's see the changes that happen from the active voice to passive voice, keeping in mind the different tenses. So here we are. Let's tackle simple present, simple past, simple future. I write a letter. The 4 changes. Swap subject and object, put to be in the correct tense, add past participle, and of course the preposition by. So here it is. I write a letter. First, swap subject and object. I, subject, has become me, object. Letter, object, has become a letter, subject. Next, add to be. So you can easily see right present tense, am, is, are, we choose is, and that's it there. Third step, add the past participle, and my dear friends, written. And of course, the fourth step is add by. So here we are, my friends, you have got it. But if the same sentence were in the simple past tense, then you would be adding either was or were. And my dear friends, if the same sentence were in the simple future tense, I will write a letter or I shall write a letter, you would be adding will be or shall be. Fantastic! Are we understanding? Isn't it going superb, my dear friends? Wait! Present perfect, past perfect, future perfect. I have written. So, a letter has been written. Can you see? We have added has been. Right? I had written. A letter had been written. So, present perfect would become has been or have been in the passive voice. Past perfect in the active voice would become had been. And future perfect will have written, for example, would become will have been written. So my dear friends, it's getting clearer every time. There is amazing clarity. Present continuous. I am writing a letter. A letter is being written, as you can see up there. Yes, absolutely. I was writing past continuous. A letter was being written. 8 different tenses in which we can change the voice from active to passive. And for all the 8 tenses, I have easily given you the solution. Here it is. Simple present, simple past, simple future, present perfect, past perfect, future perfect, present continuous, past continuous. How does the verb change from active to passive, keeping the tense constant? Now, my dear friends, I know you must be thinking, isn't there a shortcut? Yes, there is a shortcut. And that shortcut involves the first 2 steps. And that shortcut is very simple. It's the active to passive arti. Active to passive arti? Absolutely simple, my friends. Here it goes. From active to passive voice. Present tense active, am is are passive, past tense inactive, was were in passive. Fantastic! I can prove it every time. Look at that. Helps. Present tense active, am or is or are in the passive, and past tense inactive, was or were in the passive. Absolutely, my friends. Will shall in active, will shall be passive, have as in active, have as been passive. Terrific, my friends. Will in the active, can you see? Will be in the passive. And similarly, have or has in the active. Have you seen have been or has been in the passive? Had in active, had been in passive, will have in active, will have been passive. So simple, my dear friends. Rahul had helped Tina, had in active, had been in the passive, and same way will have in active, will have been in the passive. Am is are active, am is are being passive, was were in active, was were being passive. This is so easy, my dear friends. Am is are active. So if you see is in the active, is being in the passive. Same way with am or is or are. And if you see was or were in the active, you will have was being or were being in the passive. My dear friends, this brings us to the end. Active से passive तक इतना ही करना और doer को तुम non-doer करना. And that's this amazing arti. How we are going to use this arti to change from active to passive and vice versa. We are going to practice more in the next module. See you there.